Let's watch the video.
Miz knows what he...
Poki, also excellent clickbait. It's way easier for girls to get views. Reacting to XQC, reacting to mizkif, reacting to me. sy1vie reacting to pokimane, reacting to XQC, reacting to mizkif, reacting to pokimane.
I'm sorry, it's just the truth. And if you don't think that's the truth, you're wrong. It is way easier for women to get to that 1 to 200 to 300 viewers. It is way easier. Women have it so much easier for men, and it's just the truth. But women have a glass ceiling, and that is just the truth. Women have a glass ceiling, and it is almost impossible to get through. Men have an infinite ceiling. They are not hard capped. Women are hard capped usually, and it is a ceiling at around 600 viewers to 1,000 viewers. It is just the truth.
I would say from what I've seen, I don't think he's wrong. When you have 100 viewers or less, there are so many channels that when you're a girl, you stand out because there's just less girls than guys on this platform. So I'll agree with him there, and also because Twitch is a male-dominated space, if you're a guy scrolling through a bunch of channels and you see one girl and you see...
Implying anyone scrolls through channels. Can you imagine scrolling through channels to find streams on Twitch? Couldn't be me. Copium.
If you're a guy scrolling through a bunch of channels and you see one girl and you see 10 dudes that are all the same and all have like less than 100 viewers, let's say, you're probably more likely to click on the girl.
Women have it so much easier for men, and it's just the truth.
However, Miz knows what he's doing when he says general ass sentences like that. Women have it way easier than men, and that's just the truth. It's like, listen, bro, you named one benefit that women have at the very beginning of their career on stream in comparison to the dozens and dozens of benefits that guys have in comparison to the remainder of their career. So, you know, I think he knows what he's doing because he likes to say polarizing things because it farms the incels a little bit.
But women have a glass ceiling, and that is just the truth. Women have a glass ceiling, and it is almost impossible to get through. Men have an infinite ceiling. They are not hard capped. Women are hard capped.
I kind of like
usually,
that he says hard capped.
It is a ceiling at around 600 viewers to 1,000 viewers.
This is actually also true in the sense that you'll see for most women's careers on Twitch, like they can kind of get good initial traction and grow, but it is so hard to surpass that 1K average viewer mark into a much larger community unless you like ride the wave of a really popular game or unless you're around for years and years and years. Surpassing 1 to...
I remember when I first heard of Poki, I think she averaged like 5 to 6K viewers, which was still pretty good for Twitch at the time. But like just looking at where she is now and how long she's been on the platform compared to like other male streamers who have surpassed her at this point, it's really interesting.
2K average viewers is really, really difficult as a woman. Twitch has been and kind of still is a male-dominated field, and when it comes to content, it just tends to be easier to watch people that you relate to. However, I hope that we can talk about these issues without comparing too much and just trying to be like, girls have it easier, period, or guys have it easier, period. I think when you do that, we're kind of like pitting ourselves against each other. Like, why don't we just hear other people out, like validate their experiences and try to make it easier for them? And
I can't, sorry, I'm a misandrist and a misogynist at the same time.
It's easy for guys to support guys and not feel entitled, whereas for girls, oh my lord. Growing on Twitch, I had to try so hard to avoid situations where people felt entitled to my attention just because they supported me. You should check like 100 viewer female streams sometimes and the gatekeeping that happens there. This is also true. It's the entitlement, whether it's mods or viewers.
I have seen this. I have like gone into other like women streams who like are around my size or just a bit bigger, like 100 to 500. Yuto, shut the fuck up. 100 to 500 viewers. And it's crazy how many passive-aggressive comments I would see directed towards the streamer about how like the community is changing as she grows.
This is my streamer. Whereas if it's a bunch of dudes watching a dude, they're
they
like,
don't give
hey,
a shit.
Bro, like we all love this guy. Woo! we love our Giga Chad.
And like they want to see him grow, and like when he grows it's celebrated, but then when she grows there's like this like kind of like ugly feeling behind it where it's like, oh, her streams kind of changed, she's not the same anymore, something's different now, the vibe is different now. Or like viewers like feeling entitled to like play games with her or like talk to her off stream, etc., etc. And they delve into why later, which is the part of the video that was really interesting to me.
Sometimes when it's
because people don't want to lose intimate one-on-ones. Exactly.
Guy watching a girl, they start feeling like entitled to that person, and they're like, no, like don't give this person more attention than me.
And it's not necessarily based on attraction.
Also, even things like when sometimes guys are like, my girlfriend doesn't want me watching this stream, and I'm like, is it because she thinks you can't platonically watch another woman play games? Or is it because you're doing weird things or talking weirdly about this stream? Like, what is the issue here? But it's clear that there's still like quite the stigma surrounding female streamers, and hopefully we can move past that with time.
That women overall have an easier time getting to that 200, 300 viewers mark, right? Because of certain appeals and how you can cater to some things and some viewers, right? If you cater heavily to parasocial viewers and you kind of play that line of like, ooh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna put your name on the board, right? And you really give them what they want. And if you cater your stream this way, of course you are, right? Because you're not focusing entirely on giving an entertaining piece. You're giving attention, and what happens when numbers scale up with attention? People individually get less attention and less recognition. So what they do is that they watch less.
He is 100% right, and I had never thought about it this way. It had never occurred to me. Like, he is on the fucking money. And like, it was something that like, it's something that I privately have like agonized about a lot, because I love talking to you guys one-on-one. It's fun as fuck. When it was like literally just Mully active in chat watching my disco streams, or like just Yuto and Bap, or just Chase watching my Cyberpunk streams, I have so much fucking fun just talking to you guys one-on-one. It's like having a friend hang out while you play a game. So this isn't to say that like I'm like catering my personality specifically this way. Like it's I'm not like rubbing my hands together and going, yes, today I will harbor parasocial relationships with my viewers. Like, no, it's not that, but it's like, that's how I know to entertain on stream. So privately, I have thought to myself many times, I don't know how to be entertaining when I grow, if I grow as I wish to. I don't know how to flip that switch. And I thought to myself, it's very strange that I have this dilemma because I don't know where it comes from. But then hearing X say this, I was like, no fucking shit, that's the reason why. Because the way I interact with chat, which is the case for any small streamer, like I'm not unique, this is any small streamer who isn't starting out as a gaming god who people click on for their skills, interacts with their chat more individually. That's just how it works. Like, I'm not doing anything unique here. But I'm so used to that mode of interaction that the thought of switching to just being entertaining for entertaining's sake and not relying on speaking to you guys one-on-one is something that felt so alien for me. And I didn't have a way to put it into words, but he here puts it really succinctly. I mean, I imagine with time, I will, like, as I grow, I will learn and grow. And Yoko Tori is right. When it's more gradual, it's a lot easier to ease into. But for people who blow up overnight, it's really fucking hard. And I said this to chat a couple of streams ago. I was like, ideally, I would love to grow at a fast pace, but like more like a gradual buildup rather than boom, 10,000 viewer host, throw yourself into the fire, because it's a big adjustment. Feel the stream community plays a huge part in this too. Large male streamers generally have juicers with their own content and inside jokes. Female streamers generally have a bunch of people that just want that streamer interaction and aren't there to spam kick W's. Very true, very true. Don't worry, I'm just here to spam kick W. Thanks, King. Breaking gender stereotypes, one chatter at a time. Dan Stream does that too. Successful bald streamers. Okay, so when do I shave my head? Shit, Maya already did that. For me, I don't think it's so much parasociality because I'm so small. Like, I'm genuinely, like we're friends. Like, it's not... So it's not a parasocial thing. But, like, say, like, even when I have, like, 20, 30, 50, then I'm not individually friends with each person in chat. Like, a lot of these people I've known for 2, 3, 4 years. So I wouldn't call it parasocial, but it's like, it's gonna become parasocial in that awkward mid-range, like 50 to 500 like people. She's not talking about me, smile. Anyway.
So these techniques and how you cater your stream to be has a ceiling. But if you focus from the get-go on being entertaining and making an entertaining piece, regardless of attention given to individuals.
Okay, actually, this is kind of true. However, I don't want to agree with this in a way that villainizes smaller female streamers. I think if anyone starts a stream off and they're giving
everybody starts this way.
Individuals, actually, that's just how it.
That's just how you start.
Yeah. Start streaming. If you only have 10 viewers, you're giving a lot of attention to those 10 people. Right? However, when guys are watching a girl and she gets more popular, some of them will become bitter that they aren't getting the same level of attention. Yeah, it's more of a viewer problem. Thank you. I just don't like it being framed.
I think it is weighed more towards a viewer problem, but it is still a two-way street. And it's not so much, and again, not to villainize female streamers, it's just that maybe they don't know how to make that adjustment. Or they don't, they don't understand, they maybe don't recognize the problem, or they don't know how to make that adjustment because they see a passive aggressive comment and they're like, oh god, what the fuck? I don't feel like I've changed, or maybe I have changed because I'm a lot bigger now. Am I acting differently? And then they start to second guess themselves. And they maybe don't realize the root cause of the issue. So again, not to villainize, but I do still think it's a two-way street in which you don't really realize why those passive aggressive comments start propping up. Also, I love how there's currently how many people on screen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 of them being poki. Oh, and all of chat too. I need more. You don't Discord call right now. Come on. I think the idea of parasocial relationships are fine as long as it's kept in healthy dose of moderation. Honestly, I agree. Because like when I think about the streamers I watch regularly and like whose sort of like lives I follow, it's like, yeah, I do care about them as people. I completely recognize and understand that I'm not their friend. I don't know them personally. They don't know, they know fuck all about me. And I think that as long as you recognize that, and I think, okay, here's the way I think of it as, I think to myself, would I be okay with this person disliking me? Not fucking hating, not like indifference, like would I be okay with this person disliking me? I mean, yeah. It would obviously hurt, like it hurts to hear that anybody dislikes you, but would it like ruin my life if I heard that? Would I feel like really emotionally devastated by that? And I feel like if the answer is no, then you have like a healthy parasocial relationship. Because like obviously I care about these people. I follow their lives. I want to see them succeed. I think that they're really smart, talented people who in and of itself deserve their success. But I think that as long as I remember, I don't know these people, they don't know me, would I be okay with them not liking me? And if the answer is yes, then that's all there is to it. Funny when people on our live stream fail are like, OMG, this girl gets 300 viewers for showing her boobs. Then after it reaches the front page of Reddit, she has 400 viewers. It's funny. It's actually so funny. The way my first ever TikTok blew up and went viral was because actually my first YouTube short too. It didn't blow up. It only got 800 views, but that was much higher than my average. The reason my first YouTube short got big and left my subscriber base was because men got angry at it and commented on it, and that drove it up in the algorithm. Same thing with my first TikTok. When I posted it, it was me jokingly banning Kevin. We talked about this on stream. And I had a bunch of pissed off incels in my comments, just like raging about it. And because they sat and like angrily jerked off to the video 7 times and like watched it all the way through and commented on it, go, bans her most loyal subs for fun. Why'd she ban him? Because she thought it'd be funny. Stupid fucking bitch. That drove it up in the algorithm. And I got 33,000 views off of that. And that was my first TikTok to blow up. Because angry incels had made a big deal out of it. Sweet Anita, I know she's dealt with stalkers before, which is so scary. Amaranth has dealt with some really scary shit too. Like somebody set a fucking garbage can on fire outside of her house. She has it stored in her garage. It's actually quite funny. But it's scary. Yeah, and the police does fuck all about stalking. It's genuinely terrifying. Make a TikTok about banning Utah. All the comments would be like, yeah, that's fair. I'll do that next time. Thanks for the content idea. Serious props to Amaranth for how she has sort of dealt with like the deluge of like negative attention towards her throughout her streaming career. Seriously, it's insanely impressive. I would not have been able to do the same thing. I do want to give major props to, I don't know if he was the first, but it was the first that came to my attention. Major props to Ludwig for just reaching out to her as a fellow streamer and just fucking talking to her. Like I feel like he did so much to anti-villainize her, which is like really, like truly commendable. It was a really sort of, I don't want to say like nice, it's just human decency, but it was a really decent thing of him to do. And I feel like male streamers often don't realize, or they purposely blind themselves because they don't want to lose that sort of slightly misogynistic part of their community that villainizes other female streamers. They often like blind themselves to mistreatment because either they don't know, they straight up just don't notice, or they don't want to polarize or antagonize specific parts of their community. It was so funny when Alinity came onto mizkif's stream. Yeah, I thought this to myself the other day. I was like, why are people suddenly okay with Alinity? And then I saw that she collabed with mizkif, and I was like, ah, yes, a man humanized her. I have a few qualms with softcore sex workers, but I'd never demean or dehumanize them. For sure. I totally understand why people have issue with sex work on Twitch. Like, that totally makes sense to me. But there are zero people on Earth to approach that conversation with nuance without without purposely being misogynistic. You know what I mean? I understand the take of not wanting certain things to be on Twitch too. But a lot of people just fucking use that to nosedive into misogyny rather than speaking about why they don't think it's healthy for the platform. Which, like, honestly, I'm fine with hot tub streamers on Twitch. I don't really have an issue with it, especially because they are often banned off of other platforms for their work, and they're trying to make a living like everyone else. So I don't have much of an issue with it. I don't think they take away from other streamers' viewers, and they work just as hard as other streamers, so it's not an issue of leeching viewers. Like, me reacting right now is doing far less work than Amaranth, who like gets up 2 hours before stream to like do a full face of makeup, get her hair ready, prepare herself to face that Twitch chat for 8 to 12 hours a day, standing up in a tub. Like, that's much harder work than what I'm doing. How can you ride on an inflatable banana for 8 hours? That must be exhausting. She deserves her money. Exactly. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's not like an issue of physical exhaustion. Jokes aside, it's just the mental exhaustion that comes with that type of work, and I can't imagine how difficult that must be. Her image on Twitch has flipped. Exactly. And again, I think it's really commendable. Again, it's not like, I don't mean to like praise men for like doing the bare minimum, but he showed her human decency when a lot of streamers, including like other big female streamers, didn't, and that was really cool of him. So let's go men.
Aimed as like a streamer problem. So I think if anything, it's more so like we need to train viewers to know how to perceive female streamers.
Again, I think it's two-way
with them, and not take it as someone that only belongs to them, if that makes sense. Keep watching, he talks about you. Monka.
So why is Poki this big? Because yes, I agree that there were certain times where she catered more to individuals or whatever. Later on, she focused entirely on a gameplay and entertainment, which is completely separate of catering to parasocial, one-to-one attention seekers that people tend to want with the trends that we're seeing sometimes when watching female streamers. End the story.
Actually, that's
what's interesting is how this is starting to affect men too. Like, I feel like Saikuno and Hassan's communities, especially, are very parasocial and lean into that parasocial aspect, and Corpse as well, but Corpse hasn't been streaming recently. I think streamers do an awful job of letting viewers know that streaming is a service. I agree 100%. Like, it's on us too. I don't think it's just a viewer issue. I think streamers need to communicate their boundaries more clearly. But I don't want to, again, I don't want to villainize streamers either, because like I know that in my case, sometimes it's really difficult to communicate boundaries because you don't realize a boundary is being violated. Like it straight up doesn't occur to you. You just think, oh, like I just have to tolerate this. And you don't say to yourself, hey, this fucking sucks and I don't like it, which means it needs to stop right now. So it's not like these streamers are like, oh, I have to exploit my viewers. Like it's not that they're miscommunicating boundaries because they're purposely trying to manipulate their viewer base. In some cases they are, yes, but in a lot of cases, women especially, I can't say that and not sub. Thanks for the sub, I appreciate it. Welcome back for 2 months. In a lot of cases, it's for women especially because they're socialized to kind of be they're socialized to kind of enable people to push on their boundaries a bit more. They straight up don't realize. I know that's been my case, where I don't realize a boundary is being violated, and it takes me a while to realize that. And then even when I do, it's difficult to communicate it because I think I'm being a crazy bitch. TLDR, women gaslight themselves all the fucking time. It's partially why I'm not really into the idea of streaming outside of just playing weird indie games with friends. I feel that. I feel like wanting to distance yourself from it completely. But like you just said earlier, I don't think parasocial relationships are necessarily like this pure evil that need to be abolished from the earth. I think it's okay. So long as you're cognizant about it, you're aware about it, and ultimately at the end of the day, you are working on prioritizing one-on-one friendships, even if they're online. Real life friendships are best, but like cultivating friendships one-on-one with people you actually know, I should say, not like online versus real life, with people you actually know, which can be online or real life, and prioritizing those over your parasocial relationships. If someone's weird, just permaban them. Okay, so as we were saying,
it's true, especially because when you can focus on a game, it's much easier to appeal to a larger audience, and
than
it's
speaking
easier
one-on-one
for your audience not to feel entitled to you because your content is relating to a video game. Whereas if, for example, you only do just chatting and all of your content relates to interacting with people, then they will have like a stronger attachment to you, but both in a good and bad way. Both in a good way because they'll want to watch you more and be very into your content, but in a bad way because if you don't give them as much attention, they might be upset with you.
They feel scorned.
Harder time using or catering to, because the reality of it is, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I don't think a lot of people watch a lot of male streamers for dude. Okay,
this is what I was talking about. This is when he's like, okay, chat, I'm done for the day.
we said enough.
You said enough.
His brain was so juiced and it was going and it was
ready.
And it was going and it was going and he was like, wait, I think I've talked too much and I think I might say something bad. We've said enough for today, boys. We've said enough for today. And I respect that. He knows when to pause champ it, and I respect that.
XQC grown man. Feels proud, man. He's actually grown so much. I really admire how much XQC has matured. Like, no joke. I talk about this all the time. Yeah, I'm proud of him. I'm parasocially proud of him. But yeah, I thought X and Poki hit the fucking nail on the head. So I hadn't been able to put this feeling into words before, and they sort of described it. They described the phenomena really succinctly. So. Another interesting point on XQC is I wonder if a female streamer could have that sort of same redemption arc. Something that concerns me as well as a woman is I feel like when I fuck up, it's seen as this monumental, awful, terrible thing that can never be forgiven. Meanwhile, men can get away with a lot more. And so long as they make like a couple self-deprecating jokes on it and they like apologize and they move on, then ultimately it's okay for them and they end up just fine and they're able to continue a career out of that. But for women, have I made myself clear enough with this? Not to villainize Jidion, I'm saying that the treatment men get with how they are able to be forgiven should be normalized across the board. I don't mean to say we should have excommunicated Jidion and never spoken his name again and banned him to the shadow realm. Like, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we should give the same treatment to women. And I was about to say, Mindo, I was actually just about to mention Poki. Poki moved past her scandals by being incredibly smart and managing to navigate around them so fucking phenomenally. But in her wake are hundreds of female streamers who were not able to do the same. So Poki is the exception, not the rule. And she has been put through the fucking ringer. Poki, listen, I'm not even gonna say outing myself as a Poki simp here because I hate the, like, I fucking hate that joke, it really annoys me. But like, I have been a big fan of her for a very long time. She has always been like the #1 streaming role model for me. Not because we don't have similar personalities or anything, but just because of like how she has been able to handle herself and be resilient through years of harassment and being singled out. So Poki is 100% the exception, not the rule. But yeah. That's my whole take on that. I hope you guys took something from it too. It was really good. I liked reacting to Poki, reacting to XQC, reacting to mizkif, reacting to Poki. What even was the original video? They were originally reacting to a Poki video. Yeah! I don't even know what that one was. Anyway, next.